welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining today. This is episode 3 of the Piney Woods and Pacific, and today we're running a local out of Sardis, heading, pretty much straight north to the small town of Cornett. So, Sardis and Cornett in modern day, they do exist. They're not really noticeable towns, but they are places on a map. There is at least that. So, we've got a reasonably short freight today. I think just barely over 100 tons. And we're going to get our trusty Connie number 35 to take us out of town here. This version of the Piney Woods and Pacific is just the Cass sub. There's going to be 4 subdivisions. And this one is the northernmost. It is finished. I have just a couple of very, very small details to fill in, like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of work. And it'll be all set, ready for release. I do have it set up with U&NRR, and that's mostly, for the, for the partner project that I'm doing with this. And I've got quite a bit of work to do on that end of things. That is definitely not ready yet. Plus all things considered, that's actually not going to be releasable because it's for the partner project. It's for me and someone else specifically. It's not really something I can repeat and hand out like with my other U&NRR files. But also, I set up Car Tagger, which is what you see right there at the top left, using the industries. And with those built-in industries and the Car Tagger, you can get quite a bit of interaction and movement, and control over where stuff goes. Helps you keep things fresh. Most of the cars we're bringing in are loaded. We've got a few for the Interchange. There is an Interchange with another 3-foot line in the town of Cornett. It's the, what did I call it? The U&NRR Railroad, I think? I forget exactly what the U stood for. I'll have to go look it back up again. Sorry. But it's a 3-foot line that in the lore and the backstory is currently under construction. So, just off in the background there, it's kind of hard to see, but the train is going over a 2.5% grade, and I love how it looks from a distance. Just the beauty of making routes that have changes in elevation. You just can't beat it. Everything else that's mostly flat is just kind of rookie-ish to an extent. Gotta have some grades. Things aren't flat. You gotta have some challenges, some things that make you push, and change things up a bit. Here we are in Cornett. It's only about 4.5 miles. I definitely didn't want to just sit there and watch us stare at pine trees for 4.5 miles. But you'll notice this route, I don't have anywhere near the level of detail that I have on routes like the Coxon sub. And that's precisely the point. This one's more for those of us who don't have new age supercomputers. If you have a potato, this one's for you. I'll be honest, getting that shot right in cab mode was kind of hard. If you like the new railcar sounds and things, that's awesome. Those are from Trains Forge. As are literally all the rolling stock you see in this video. That's all from Trains Forge, since it's the 3-foot narrow gauge stuff. But this is the Interchange yard. It's honestly a bit bigger than it needs to be, but that's okay. And what are we doing first? We're going to get the caboose set out on track 2 over there. And then we're also going to set out all of the coal hoppers at the back. Those are all going to the U&N. We've got one boxcar that just passed us that's going there as well. We're going to get to that one. Cornett is a small town, not really too much. It mostly consumes goods. It does have one track that produces cattle. Another track that produces like miscellaneous goods. Think of it like LCL, essentially, less than cardboard. And then it's got a track that produces cordwood. So that's really going to be the biggest export from town here is cordwood. Other than that, it just consumes. It consumes lumber, it consumes perishables, it consumes goods. I think that's actually it. Well, I think the stock track consumes feed, maybe. Can't remember. I'll have to check. It's typically how I do it. A stock track on this route typically will consume feed and produce cattle, but that's not necessarily always the case. The locomotive brake works really well on this locomotive, I gotta be honest. It works a little too good. That's alright. You know, the thing about trains, it's a compromise. The physics aren't necessarily perfect. They're not horrific, but they're not perfect either. Just get used to it, you know. It could be far worse, and it's not. It's not the worst thing on the planet. But it does have its little quirks here and there that you gotta work through. The coupler slack and stuff sounds really good and everything's just... these are Lincoln pin couplers, so they wouldn't sound like that. But that's okay. We're not gonna worry about it. Yeah, there's a flat car as an example with, you know, an LCL label. And we're coming in a little hot on that couple. Psych! That's what I'm telling you. Those locomotive brakes, when you dump them, they are really something with this locomotive. What we're trying to do right now is just get the cars sorted so that the cars going to Cornett are kind of all together. The cars going to the U&N are all together, which are mostly done. Here's that boxcar we got to set out. And then after that, we'll kind of more or less put our outbound train together, and that'll be it. This time we're going to be taking a lot more cars back than what we brought. But that's just because we're trying to, you know, I'm trying to get everything balanced, and, you know, we're simulating that a U&N train had just come through, so. Next up, we're going to go turn the locomotive. Once we get that done, we'll go ahead and get all of our final set-outs finished up. Getting a little run by the train here. Our next set of moves is going to be mostly focused on getting all the Cornett cars and putting them together to start setting them out. I'm still trying to adjust to getting used to that brake. Trains is a good steam sim, but it's not perfect. It takes some adjusting, and every steam locomotive is different. Got to get some cars in order, pick up a couple of other cars that are sitting out on the main over there, past the station. I want to make all the set-outs in one move, so we're going to get everything lined up like we need. But I also need to go scoop a few more cars and set them out in the yard because they're going to go with us. Sorry I couldn't show that, but we had some technical difficulties because of the industries. It's one of the glitches I just hate in this game, but I tolerate. And that is sometimes when you stop at an industry, it permanently takes control of your train from you. And so I went ahead and just used the editor to make those moves, put it all together, and Now we're shoving it out on the track and getting it out of the way. I didn't realize that we need to go back because I forgot to grab the cordwood cars. These are the heavy cars. I forget exactly how many tons each of one of these carries, but it's heavy. These cordwood cars are heavy. Kind of the same deal though. Had to go ahead and make the rest of the move on off camera. We're just going to set those guys aside. Come back to them later. Here are the cars for Cornett. We still got to do a little bit of shuffling. We've got a flat car, a box car, and a reefer that all go together to the same track. And that track's in the middle of the cuts of cars that we have. So those two empty flats back there are going to go to the cordwood track. And then these two lumber cars will go right where those empty flats are right now. I use the brake so much with the switching that the compressor's pretty much always running. Been keeping it moving enough though that we haven't needed to use the blower, so that's nice. Alright, now everything's in order. The box car, flat car with goods on it, and the reefer, they all go together. So now we're just going to connect up, shove back, and get all our setouts done. And then we'll come back and put our outbound train together. And it'll be highballing the Sardis. That's a successful set out of the cordwood cars. Going to do a little Dutch drop here, just so we don't get stuck and killed by the the little glitch that's happening. There we go. Mission accomplished. I'm going to do it one more time with these lumber cars. A little fast this time, but it's all good. Alright, now we have backed up to the first cut of cars. We're going to pull this cut out and double our train here to grab the second cut that has the caboose. And then it'll be officially back to Sardis. I've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys have as well. I'm going to leave you guys here in just a moment with a run by of the entire train out of the yard here. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And I'll get an update out soon once I get the final few little details done. I've been having all kinds of challenges this last couple weeks. I hadn't been able to get a lot of work done. But I wanted to get another ops video out just because this is what my channel is mostly about. It's been fun, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I'm going to leave you here with the last little bit, but I'll catch you all out there next time. Enjoy.